plans to drill for shale gas in the village of Woodsets near Rotherham. Woodsets is the third place in a small area where the energy firm Ineos wants to test whether conditions are suitable to extract shale gas.
Last week, Ineos secured an injunction stopping anti-fracking protesters trespassing or obstructing work at its site. We'll speak to them in just a moment's time, but first, Charlotte Leeming has been hearing from local people.
Woodsets is a quiet village near Rotherham. Historically a farming community, the stunning countryside now attracts people who want to escape the hustle and bustle of towns and cities. But residents now fear its serenity could be shattered. The energy firm Ineos wants to drill an exploratory well to look for shale gas. The proposals have taken villagers by complete surprise.
There were probably 4 or 5 pickup type trucks, and I would say at least a dozen people in high-vis jackets walking around the fields putting in these sort of posters that we were looking at.
The notices were put up by Ineos. The energy giant secured a High Court injunction preventing anyone from trespassing or obstructing work on this hectare of land. As news spread through the village over the weekend, so did concern.
Woodsets is a rural village. It's surrounded by farmlands. And suddenly you're going to be having, well, certainly in the initial stages, quite a lot of heavy duty, HGVs, lorries sort of coming in and out of the village.
The map of potential fracking or drilling sites is growing in our region. As well as Woodsets, Ineos has submitted applications for drilling 5 miles down the road at Harthill in Rotherham and at Marsh Lane in Derbyshire. Test drilling has been approved at Misson near Bawtry and Tinker Lane near Blythe. And the situation's more advanced at Kirby Misperton in North Yorkshire. Third Energy is waiting for government approval to start fracking there in a matter of weeks. Another community that's concerned about potential gas drilling is Harthill, who yesterday organised a village protest walk and picnic.
What effect will it have on our air quality, pollution? Because there are thousands of trucks involved, diesel trucks. What effect could it have on our water if the well casings do fail or break? Where does the water go to that doesn't come back up?
People have turned out because they are frightened for the village, really. They don't want this company making an industrialised mess of our local fields.
And that's the thing with fracking, it's incredibly controversial. The process involves liquid being pumped deep underground at high pressure to fracture shale rock. This releases gas or oil trapped within it. It's a relatively new concept in the UK, and places where it's got the go-ahead, like Kirby Misperton, have seen high-profile protests. In Woodsets, though, things are at an exploratory stage and up for consultation. But there are clear signs here that some people aren't happy. Charlotte Leeming, BBC Look North, Woodsets.
Well, Lynn Calder is Ineos Shale's commercial director. She says an injunction against trespassers is to protect the public from what she calls militant activists, and she insists what the company is doing is safe.
At the moment, we're really just focusing on the very early steps of scientific data gathering. So we are undertaking seismic, which is taking a picture of the underground, and we're drilling vertical exploration wells to simply take some core samples. So there is nothing flowed back to surface and no current fears about water contamination or anything of that nature.
Why did you go to the trouble of securing an injunction to stop trespass or obstruction? Don't you think that people have the right to protest? It seems rather heavy-handed in these initial kind of processes.
Yeah, we absolutely do believe that people should have the right to peaceful protest, and there will be no difference as a result of these injunctions to how people can undertake those rights of peaceful protest.
It doesn't really get off on the right foot, though, does it? I think you've probably ticked people off. They were unhappy, at the way they found out. There was no prior warning, no flyers or anything. It's not exactly the way to win people over, is it?
Well, I think our sense is that what we are doing is trying to protect members of the public. We're trying to protect our sites, our people and our suppliers from harassment from a relatively small minority of militant activists. So we think that the public should be very confident about the fact that we're doing that to take that route of protecting them. And as I say, in the meantime, there is no change to the rights of peaceful protest.
I think one thing people were quite annoyed about that we spoke to was the fact that this is a public footpath, it's a bridleway, it's not some extraneous field on the outskirts of town. This is going to affect people's day-to-day lives, isn't it?
Well, the rights of way are still available. It's really the sites and, as I say, people, members of the public and our suppliers that we're seeking to protect.
And will the consultation process be an open one? Are you going to listen to residents?
Absolutely. We listen to residents wherever we propose well sites. So at the moment in Woodset we are in phase 1 of the planning process, and that we have submitted an environmental impact assessment screening report to Rotherham Metropolitan Borough Council for determination and consideration. The next phase will be a full planning process during which the public will have absolute right of consultation, and we will be in, as I say, the region. We will be there conducting an exhibition, there to talk to the public at any time really, and we would also encourage community liaison groups so that we can pass on information and receive information, because it's very important for us to listen to what the main concerns are of the local residents.
Lynn, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you.